When was the last time you stood in front of a mirror and asked yourself a question so honest it made you uncomfortable? Not am I doing okay? Not am I successful enough? But something far more unsettling. Am I actually living my life, or am I living the life that others decided for me? Most people never ask this question, and those who do often look away before answering, because the truth is dangerous. The truth demands change, and change threatens everything familiar. Yet this is exactly where transformation begins. Carl Jung understood something most people spend their entire lives avoiding. The greatest conflict you will ever face is not with the world, but with the version of yourself you created to survive it. From the moment you wake up, the world tells you who to be, how to behave, what success should look like, what dreams are acceptable, what desires are too much. You are taught subtly, persistently, that fitting in is safer than standing out, that pleasing others is more valuable than honoring yourself. And so you learn to adapt, you learn to silence your instincts, you learn to ignore discomfort, you learn to say yes when your soul is screaming no. Each time you do this, something inside you fractures quietly, invisibly. Not enough to break you all at once, but enough to slowly disconnect you from who you truly are. At first, it feels harmless, responsible, even. You tell yourself you're being mature, realistic, selfless. You prioritize others. You fulfill expectations. You meet obligations. And yet, beneath the surface, something begins to ache. That unease you feel when life looks fine on the outside but feels hollow inside is not random. It is not weakness. It is not ingratitude. It is your unconscious trying to reach you. Jung believed that the unconscious is not a passive background system. It is alive. It communicates. It guides. And when ignored, it does not fall silent. It grows louder through discomfort, anxiety, exhaustion, and inner conflict. Every time you choose fear over authenticity, your inner world moves further out of alignment, and chaos follows. Not because life is punishing you, but because you are living in opposition to yourself. Think about your recent decisions. How many were made from clarity and truth, and how many were driven by fear? Fear of disappointing others, fear of being judged, fear of stepping into the unknown. Fear is a powerful motivator, but it is a terrible guide. Decisions rooted in fear may keep you safe in the short term, but they cost you everything in the long run. They erode your confidence, they dull your intuition, they fragment your identity. This is why so many people feel lost even when they are doing everything right. But choosing yourself does not mean rejecting the world. It does not mean abandoning responsibilities or cutting off everyone around you. That misunderstanding keeps countless people trapped. Choosing yourself means something far more profound. It means recognizing that you cannot give life to others if you are disconnected from your own. It means understanding that self-respect is not selfishness, and boundaries are not betrayals. Jung spoke deeply about self-love not as indulgence, but as necessity. Self-love is the foundation upon which every authentic relationship is built. Without it, you give from emptiness, and emptiness always demands payment through resentment, burnout, or quiet despair. When you begin to prioritize your inner truth, something shifts. Your energy changes. The way you speak changes. The way you walk into a room changes. And without forcing anything, your external world begins to respond. Opportunities realign. Relationships transform. Some people drift away not because you failed them, but because they were never aligned with who you truly are. This can feel like loss, and in a way, it is. But what you lose is illusion. What you gain is alignment. Yet before this transformation can occur, there is a confrontation that cannot be avoided. You must meet your shadow. Jung described the shadow as the parts of ourselves we repress, deny, or fear, the traits, emotions, desires, and truths that don't fit the identity we've constructed. The shadow is not evil, it is unfinished, and when ignored, it controls us from behind the scenes. Avoiding your shadow keeps you trapped in patterns you don't understand. Integrating it sets you free. This process is not easy. It requires courage, it demands honesty, and it unfolds gradually, through reflection, awareness, and deliberate choice. But what it gives you in return is priceless. Clarity, the ability to see through illusions you once believed were truth. Purposes, sense of direction that does not depend on approval. Inner peace, of stability no external chaos can shake. You begin to say no without guilt. You stop explaining yourself to people who are never listening. You stop negotiating with parts of your life that no longer align. And for the first time you feel grounded, not arrogant, not detached, grounded. This is where real power begins, not the power to control others, but the power to stand unshaken in your truth. And yet one question remains. Are you willing to lose what no longer serves you to become who you truly are? Choosing yourself is rarely dramatic in the way movies portray it. There is no single moment where everything suddenly makes sense and life becomes effortless. Instead, it begins quietly, often with discomfort. It starts the moment you stop ignoring that subtle tension in your chest. The moment you stop dismissing the exhaustion you feel after certain conversations. The moment you admit, perhaps reluctantly, that something in your life no longer resonates. This awareness can be unsettling, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Many people sense this moment and retreat. They rationalize, they distract themselves, they tell themselves things will change on their own, but nothing changes until you do. Jung warned that ignoring these inner signals is not strength, it is denial, and denial always comes at a cost. To choose yourself means having the courage to let go of what is familiar, even when familiarity feels safer than uncertainty. It means releasing relationships that drain you, habits that numb you, and identities that were never truly yours. This does not happen without resistance. The world often resists when you stop playing the role it assigned to you. People may question you. Some may criticize you. Others may distance themselves entirely. This can hurt, especially when your worth was once tied to approval. But here is the truth: most people never learn. When you stop seeking validation, you stop giving others power over your identity. Your value becomes internal, stable, unshakable. Jung described a phenomenon called synchronicity, the meaningful alignment between inner change and external events. When you live in conflict with yourself, life reflects that conflict. When you live in alignment, the world begins to mirror that harmony. This is not mysticism, it is psychology. Your internal state shapes your perception, your choices, and the energy you bring into every interaction. As you change, what you attract changes. Doors open, the right people appear. Situations that once felt stagnant begin to move. Not because the universe suddenly favors you, but because you are no longer blocking yourself. This transformation requires radical honesty. Choosing yourself means acknowledging where you abandoned yourself in the past, where you allowed boundaries to be crossed, where you said yes out of fear rather than truth. This is not an invitation to judge yourself. It is an invitation to reclaim your agency. Authenticity, Jung believed, is not a destination, it is a lifelong process. You will stumble, old patterns will resurface, doubt will creep in. This does not mean you are failing, it means you are evolving. True growth never occurs within comfort, it occurs in the tension between who you were and who you are becoming. As you commit to this path, your relationships change. You no longer chase approval, you seek connection. You stop settling for shallow bonds and begin attracting people who value you not for what you give, but for who you are. And something remarkable happens. You stop feeling alone, even when walking a path few understand. Your intuition strengthens. That inner voice you once ignored becomes clearer, more confident. Decisions that once felt overwhelming begin to carry a sense of quiet certainty. This is the power of alignment. Life does not become free of challenges, but challenges no longer feel like punishment. They become stepping stones, invitations to grow. The world glorifies sacrifice, but rarely asks the cost. Pouring from an empty cup does not make you noble, it makes you depleted. Choosing yourself is not selfish. It is necessary, because only when you are whole can you give authentically. Your relationships are mirrors. The boundaries you allow reflect the boundaries you have with yourself. When you protect your inner peace, you teach the world how to treat you. And as you live more honestly, your presence begins to inspire others, not through words, but through being. Authenticity has a ripple effect. It shifts families, communities, and cultures, one individual at a time. Jung understood this deeply. Individual transformation is never isolated. Each person who chooses truth contributes to a collective awakening. This journey is not linear. There will be moments of clarity and moments of doubt. Both are essential. Doubt is not the enemy, it is an invitation to deepen your self-awareness, and you are not alone. Every book you encounter at the right moment, every conversation that resonates, every message that reaches you when you need it, most these are not accidents, they are reflections of your readiness. Life begins to feel less like a struggle and more like a homecoming, and perhaps the most profound realization emerges. Everything you were searching for outside of yourself was always within you. The moment you stop abandoning yourself to please the world, you step into a power that cannot be taken from you. Not loud, not forceful, but unbreakable. So ask yourself now honestly, without fear, what are you holding on to that no longer serves you? What would your life look like if you chose yourself not once, but daily? Because the moment you do, something extraordinary begins. And this time, it's not the world that changes first, it's you.